1 in 3 we tell it's not going to work.
Right. Like, and sometimes we tell them it's not going to work and they do it anyways. And then
yeah. Oh, that's fine.
There's a few that have like shut down because we told them like we don't think this is viable.
Right.
They went ahead with it and then it wasn't viable.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I have to do the intro for this one. Please welcome Kastina Morrison. She has been bringing people together since her 3rd grade holiday party. She is the owner of Kastina Co, an award-winning wedding and event planning company, and co-founder of Bigger Picture Solutions, a venue management and consulting firm, alongside her longtime friend and business partner, me.
Yeah.
I feel like it probably started to feel like an oversight that we hadn't had you on here yet. Like people were like, why hasn't Kastina been on the podcast?
You had to have talked about it a million times.
We have. Yeah. It was just always like scheduling for the
There has been a couple times where we're like, let's ask Kastina. And then you're busy.
Yeah.
You're a busy person.
Yeah.
Or she was like, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. Yeah. It was either I'm busy or I'm not ready. So
yeah.
I wanted to wait, you know.
So what was
I wanted to let you guys get warmed up. So.
We had to get our chops together. Like, yeah.
Yeah, we did actually.
She was actually waiting for this equinox to do it.
Yeah.
It felt fortuitous.
Yeah, she planned it. What was the preparation to come on like?
I tried to listen to some pump up music on the way here.
Really?
That was about
That's
it.
awesome.
And then
Pump up the jam?
Yeah, but
Or pump up the volume or whatever?
yeah, on my way here, because I'm like, you know, I want this to be good. I want this to be good for you guys.
I want it to be good for you.
I want to be great. You know, I want to be funny and I want to be energetic. So I was like listening to Paramore on the way here, but on like the highway, it kept switching over to that Baby Shark song.
No
Baby Shark,
way.
Baby Shark, whatever it was. And I was like, what does it keep doing? And then I would like get it to switch back. And it was a little dangerous, like, because I was like frustrated. And I was like, I'm trying to get pumped up.
Trying to get pumped up for the show.
And it's like, Baby Shark, Baby Shark. I was like, bedroom. And it says, you know, playing in bedroom 1 on my Spotify. I was like, I don't even know what bedroom 1 is. I don't have, like, that's not how I label my bedrooms. And I finally got it. And I parked here. And so I texted Nicole Meyer, our assistant, because she has access to the account. She's like, no, I'm not listening to Baby Shark right now. And then I texted my brother and sister-in-law, and they're like, yes, we stopped. I was like, it's okay. I was just, ugh. And so then I walked in, and I was flustered, and I needed a bag of chips, but I'm here now.
How does that work? Is that like those Sonos things or whatever?
I have no idea how it took. Oh, well, yeah, I hooked them up with, like, Google Home stuff. So they probably just, like, have access to all my stuff.
I was like, how did that Bluetooth that far?
I know. Oh, I think it's the account. I can change the lights in their house, which my brother hates when I do it.
Do you just like occasionally just like
I do
flicker them on?
Yeah, like all red. Yeah, it's fun that way.
I finally got one of those light bulbs. FYI, just like the other day.
Where did you put it?
In my bedroom. I have it now starting to like turn on at like 9 a.m. I'm not a morning person, as Kastina knows.
No.
We joke that like Bigger Picture Solutions is open 24 hours a day because she gets up at like 6 a.m. and I'm up until like 4 a.m. half the time. So there's always somebody on the clock at BPS.
Yeah.
And
You guys should say, too, you lived together for a while.
Oh, yeah.
for like
5 years?
5 years, yeah.
So you know everything about each other.
Yeah.
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 That was where it was like, I was a little nervous about doing this because I was like, we also, when we're talking, sometimes there's like no complete sentences. Like we don't have real conversations. We like, you know that one thing? And like, yeah. And like,
Depending on the context.
Code.
I'm sure it'll have. I mean, give it 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
It'll happen.
and we also often show up at industry events dressed the same. Like not exactly, but like always coordinating. And I'm almost texting you today to be like, what are you wearing in case we did it again? But we did a good job.
We did a good job.
Yeah, we're totally not at all matching. So that's great.
Perfect.
Yeah. But we're glad you're here.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks
welcome.
for having me.
Yeah, it's long overdue, but you're here now, so. All right, palm reading. No, just kidding.
No, I know. Later. Yeah.
Okay, so just to start out with, like, we usually like to talk about how people got their start and where you, like, what's your origin story?
Yeah. Origin story is I my first job out of college, I guess if that's where we're starting. Otherwise, I can start from third grade.
Third grade.
No. It's like a wedding speech. It's like in third grade,
Yeah, in third
I met the groom or whatever.
You
Yes.
don't know who I am. I'm the
Yeah.
bride.
Okay, fast forward.
Okay.
Give us a little bit of the third grade, but
Sure.
fast forward that shit.
I grew up with my family having holiday parties, not Christmas parties, holiday parties. My dad became a world religion teacher. It was important that we were all very inclusive in our family so that every kid in my whole, like, they made sure I invited everybody, not just who do you want to invite. They're like, no, you're inviting every single person in the class. So third grade, like, that's, 24 to 30 kids. And then middle school, it's an entire, like, it's everybody in Red Wing, Minnesota, of 16,000 people. So, like, these parties got, like, big. And then, I don't know, worked on, like, making playlists with my dad for the parties and coat check, because they would have their own, they're both teachers, and they would both have their holiday party, too, separately from the kids. So, I got to...
Adults were upstairs getting weird.
I was doing coat check for my drunk teachers at like 9 years old. It was wild. So that was fun. And then school, I don't know.
Well, and also you're a theater kid at heart.
Yes, I was a theater kid the whole time. And then even in college was doing stuff then. And then out of college, I was a host for a little bit at What Was the View, and I mentioned that because it comes back around probably later, but I was also one of the first event managers at 5 Event Center, which is still a thing.
Mm-hmm. Still.
So that was that. There was 3 of us. We worked out of a closet that was like the space under the stairs in 5 Event Center, and we're just packed in there. But I mean, I had manager in my title, and that helped to eventually move on to a marketing and events spot. And then I found a recruiter that said, have a position. It's at this place. I don't know if you know about it, but it's called ARIA, and I just died. I mean, you didn't really know about what it was just yet, but like I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And so I was so nervous for my interview on February
18th. Kastina celebrates our anniversary every year.
That's awesome. So you were there when it first opened?
Yeah, Jessica hired me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started in August of 2012, and Kastina was February of 2013. So our first event manager.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's
It
awesome.
was a lot for like being whatever age I was.
Yeah. Which is whatever you're going to be in my mind forever. Yeah.
Yeah. 23, 24 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a trip. That first being the first on that team. It was you, me, Kelly, Eob, and Steph.
Yep. And Michelle. Yep.
And we just rode a wild wave of
we didn't know what we were doing most of
No.
the time. Like, I think back on it sometimes and I'm like, I can't believe I let people do that. Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, we learned fast, and we course corrected a lot, and obviously now I think we know what we're doing more than most people do.
we learned the hard way.
Yeah, we learned the hard way in a lot of things.
Are you talking clients though? Like what
Everything.
you let
Everything, operations, like
yeah, like boundary setting. That was a big thing that I think we learned the hard way over a very long time frame, and like still continue to refine to this day.
Yep.
But it was definitely like back then I was literally like a porous sentient being. Like anything you wanted, you could have it. Like I'll make that work. Of course, I'll come in at 4 a.m. Yeah, I'll stay till 6 a.m. I don't care.
Right. You need to load out till 6 a.m. and then we have to clean for 2 hours until the next rental comes in. Sure.
Oh, we're gonna have an overnight 24-hour shift. Great, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll just kill myself until.
Yeah.
But
That lived on because I did those too when I was at ARIA. Yep.
it's hard when especially like Aria's legacy of being in its day the first non-hotel at that level, not run by a catering company.
Like kind of independent.
Yep, independent,
artistic.
not a hotel ballroom, not a golf course. Like it was one of the first big warehouses in the country. Yeah, that had chandeliers in it and looked really cool, and had rigging abilities, which still almost it feels like nobody does again.
Yeah, it was such a unique place because of the theater aspect of it, plus just like everything about it was so unique, and it was cool.
Touring it was so fun, and telling the story was so fun. Getting to sit with people and like create. I remember when we started, Everybody thought like we're gonna do our ceremonies on the stage because that just felt like at the beginning the natural way to do it is like using this massive wide stage as the place where you then get married.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
No,
took us
I know what you're saying. You have done them on the stage.
Yep.
But between the pillars ended up being like the money shot.
Or in
The
the
spot or in the round.
The round
in the round
was
was
really
my
cool,
favorite
too.
when I convinced somebody to do that. But yeah, everybody switched to the pillars after like a year
that
and
was
a half.
the image that got picked up for the Bride magazine.
Yeah.
With the big dress.
Yeah, no, it's like when we were like named as one of the 100 best venues in America.
Oh yeah.
That was like the
That was the
cover
cover.
photo of
Yeah.
Bride magazine.
It's in there.
Yeah.
We'll have to pull out.
We can.
I have that image.
put it
I have
in
the
there, yeah.
magazine at home. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take
so do
a picture
I.
for you.
Yeah.
We probably both have like 6 copies of it somewhere because it was very exciting. Like,
Yeah, the other. Oh, go ahead.
oh, just like we were like young and dumb and didn't know what we were doing, but we got on this list of 100 best venues in America. Like it was.
In print on
Yeah.
cover.
I'm pretty sure we went to the Lowry and like ate cheese curds and champagne and like celebrated it.
Yes, that's what we did. That's what we did. Also, shout out to Janae at
Yes.
the time, Blush and Whim, because it was
Yeah.
her. She was wedding planner on it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, she was amazing.
No, I was just gonna hop in and say it also had the upper mid level
Yeah.
for photos. That's like
Yeah.
key. It's like you get an aerial view without like having to put a drone up in the building or
I
something.
didn't even
So
think about it that way.
that's such a cool shot.
Got those shots.
I
of
feel
the
like
room
the
looking-
one that I mentioned, I think it was, I can't remember his name. I'll look it up, but if I think of it, we'll put it in. But big dress, aerial view, walking down the aisle.
Oh, Matt Lean.
Matt Lean.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say
mean,
Klein.
I know that
I
photo.
was gonna say Klein. Yes, that's why I'm
yes,
like, okay.
Yes. Oh, that shot. I mean, when he got that, I was like
That was a money shot that still lived on. Yeah.
rent free in all of our heads
Yeah.
across America. No, I mean that shot is nuts.
It's a great shot. We'll
It's
have
so
to,
sad that it's
you have that?
I know.
I'm sure I have it somewhere.
We
Yeah,
got to find that shot.
yeah, it's just sad to think.
I'm sure we can look it up actually online. So
Yeah.
it's got to be somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it's pinned on the top of his Instagram.
Oh yeah, that would
Yeah.
make sense.
Oh. Yeah.
Sorry, my cough drops, guys.
Yeah. It was an epic place.
Yeah.
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 And it was just like a really, like, because we were there all the time and we were working. I mean, our biggest year we did 214 events. Like,
Yeah, which is unheard of now. Don't expect that necessarily. I know, but I know a couple venues are doing that.
not like that though.
That was
different.
Yeah, yeah. Those are insane numbers. But there's no other place, and now people have opened
Yeah.
venues
Now
and
we're,
open
like, a
venues.
little
and
more
open venue.
saturated
Yes,
now.
it's a little more saturated in the market.
Yeah.
So most people are like
We've all had to
60
learn how to do
90.
sales because back then we
Yeah.
were just like, okay, we're just like gonna. I mean, not that our salespeople worked very, very hard, but most of
Yeah.
it was like an incoming, like a tidal wave, you know.
Well, and you pushed the boundary with the pricing. You put a price on it that nobody had ever seen before.
And
Yeah.
it's still kind of a model to this day. I think it was really cool too because ARIA had a pretty, at least when I was there, you guys probably built it up, but like we had a lot of rentals for a venue. Like I don't think a lot of companies have, if
Like
any.
all the furniture.
Yeah, we had furniture. We had tons of
No, that was all
chandeliers.
Peter.
And
Yeah, that
was
was
all
we
Peter.
didn't like
No,
moving
Peter
that
loved to
around.
shop.
yeah.
Yeah,
What did you say? You didn't what?
we didn't like moving all that stuff around.
I mean, we got used to it. In the
yeah.
beginning, it was a little hard,
Yeah.
like until we got like the operations down of how to do it. And like the thing that was always a little scary is some of the pieces were like vintage, and so it's like, is it going to be available? So we got good at learning how to like tell people like we may not have this exact piece, but we'll have something
Right.
like it. You know, that's like a lesson we had to learn. That we do it our space up north, Julie and James Place.
Yep.
Like we have the same thing. We have tons of vintage furniture, and we're always like, we can't guarantee it'll be this couch, but we'll have a couch.
You will have a vintage piece couch, but one stiletto heel and
Yeah,
like,
somebody breaks it. And
It's funny that clients trust that.
yeah. Oh
They
yeah,
believed in the space so much that they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
What do you mean that red velvet couch isn't available that I saw 9 months ago? I was like, well,
somebody
it's been broken, drank on, like spilled on,
Puked on.
yeah, puked on.
Yeah, all the legs are broken.
All the legs are for the back fell off.
Oh, I fixed so many legs. On
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sofas.
when we first opened, oh my god, watch us just turn into like an Aria, like
I know, a little bit.
We knew it was going there at some point, so we'll get it out of the way.
Yeah,
we plunged so many toilets because before the bathroom got remodeled, they were like the same kind of toilets you could have like in your house, and like cheap ones, and they would get clogged at almost every event. And every single event we had to pretend like it was the first time it had ever happened, and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened.
What? I had made up like a little,
She had a skit,
a little skit every time I was in the bathroom mopping something up,
like late night show.
I was definitely working on my stand up for sure, with a mop in my hand. Just be like, remember when your daughter wants to be a wedding planner, that this is part of it. And, and I just make jokes after that. I got a lot of practice. You have a lot of audience that had a couple drinks in them. So it's a good audience.
Ladies in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Or I suppose the guys too.
The men's room never had these problems.
Really?
It was always the ladies.
You ladies clogging the hell out of these toilets?
But it's like a lot more toilets too. There's like one in the dude.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was only ever.
I hate that they do that. Yeah, every venue's like, dude's got one place to take a pee and one shitter to split between 300 people. It's like what are we doing here?
On the brewery event, we switched them.
Yeah, we did a keg party basically for Lagunitas.
Yep.
And they literally rolled in a giant kegerator, like a semi-sized kegerator with like 25 different taps, and it was like there was so many people in there, and it was almost all dudes, and we realized very quickly like, oh my God, this is gonna work. So we switched the bathrooms. We're like, okay, this is the men's room now and this is the ladies' room now. Sorry.
Is that why they had to remodel it after that?
No, I don't think so. No, that because it had already been remodeled at that point, because that was kind of towards the end. But yeah, they were really like pretty ugly bathrooms in the very, very beginning, and then they got a nice little upgrade.
They were so dark and
moody,
sexy. People love that.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
You got to build bathrooms that people want to take selfies in.
Yeah,
it's weirdly important.
It is very important. People really care about them.
That's a smart little tidbit.
Yeah, it's the only time people are like sitting still and quiet and alone sometimes, and then they judge you on the bathroom they just saw.
Yeah, so many selfies, even just online. Yeah. It's in the bathroom.
It's in the bathroom.
That's a good pro tip right there.
When we were doing the bathrooms at Machine Shop, and you get towards the end and you're sort of value engineering some things to like bring costs down or whatever. And I was like, we can change some of these things, but you cannot get rid of these backlit mirrors, because I was like, people will take hundreds of selfies and then they proceeded to take hundreds of selfies. And I'll be like, online, like someone's like whatever. When I used to be like online dating and things, I'd be like, "That's in the Machine Shop. That's a Machine Shop bathroom." Like,
oh yeah, oh my God, online dating and being able to swipe through people's profile and like, I was at that wedding.
Yep.
I was behind you. Like, I was over here. Yeah. Like, we've crossed paths, actually. How was that wedding for you?
Yeah.
Like, your opener was like, hey, that wedding photo, were you at ARIA?
Yeah.
Were you at Machine Shop?
Yeah.
How was it?
I did match. I matched with somebody. I think I told you this
Yes,
story.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, you were at Machine Shop? He's like, yeah. And I was like, did we meet? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, was I nice? He's like, nope. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, you took away our beer. And I was like, well, no shit then. You deserved it.
You brought it in.
You brought in outside alcohol and I took it away from you. You poor baby. I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah.
So did you go on a date?
No.
Okay. That's where it ended?
Yeah, that was it. I don't know if you just matched just to say that or what, but I was like, I don't think we can, no, we're not going out.
Oh, sometimes I'd match with people just to be like, how was that wedding? Like, what do you think about the space?
Get their hopes up and then you're getting intel.
No, this is for data. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Oh my God.
Okay, so after ARIA, well, let's continue your biography situation.
Yeah,
how'd you get into planning?
Oh, yeah, hold on. We can.
There's a little in between.
There's a little in between.
Okay.
So I left. We were all kind of like moving on a little bit, our like core team there. And I left to go to a place
that shall be not named.
That shall not be named. Mm-hmm. I made it about 9 months. And because I have not named it, I'll just say like there was no integrity there. I sold my soul for a doubled salary and whatever. And I made it 9.
The promise of it. And
the promise of it. Oh, the promise of so many things. And the promises they would make to people that I knew they could never fulfill.
Right.
And so I learned a lot about what not to do and a lot about, a little bit of the dark side of the industry and what people that are scheming to basically take people's money and underpromise or overpromise and underdeliver. Just the like catalyst of all that. And made it 9 months, left. And then I left there with only a verbal offer to go open up Brick and Mortar as their GM. Wasn't built yet. The owners had a dream. They needed somebody to do all of it. They all had their own businesses. So that was super fun. Was there for a year and a half, got to build everything, pick out everything with them. I mean, there was a design team that was in there, and then we took their designs and then we like made it our own. It's a lot of shopping, so much shopping for stuff and measuring. Like, I respect interior designers in the same way that I think once you plan your own wedding, you probably respect wedding planners, in that being an interior designer feels like, oh, I get to do all the pretty things. I get to pick out everything's gonna be pretty. Like, I get to pick out, just all the velvet and the patterns and like all the fluffy stuff. And you're like, oh my God, it's just measuring stuff. It's just measuring.
Decision fatigue. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, okay, great. I know I want a gray XYZ and I can find that. And I want tufted or not tufted. But then measure, and can it get in? And, we had like restoration hardware couches coming up 3 flights of stairs in an old historic building because it can't go up the elevator, and almost craned it in. It was nuts. It was a good year and a half. And then after that, I realized that the only thing I really needed to know to start my own business was QuickBooks, and I learned that at that job. And so I was like, you know what? If these guys can do it, and I love them dearly, but if these guys can do it, I can do this. So I basically, as I tell the story, turned 30, freaked out, quit my job, flipped the table.
We were living together at this time,
and
so
we were
I can
living.
vouch that this is all
I
happening.
can't make rent next month.
Yeah, no, which I never did not do.
Never. Yeah.
No,
I always
I
paid
know.
rent.
I
No,
was
but it's
kidding.
so funny
Yeah.
because like literally
I was
when
so
she
scared.
was in the middle of it and starting Kastina Co, I'd always be like, you don't have to pay rent, like it's fine. And she's like, no, I must. And I was like,
Principal.
okay, if you must, you must, but you're fine. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
They say you got to jump to fly.
That's it. That's how it was. I jumped. I leaned on every connection we ever made in all those years that I ever made in all those years. I mean, first I traveled for a month and then I came back. And then I was like,
She had a midlife crisis.
Yeah, which is good. And then January of 2019, I came back and I sat around Jessica's house for a year because I wasn't going to work. But I was picking up gigs. I was like getting referrals. It was slow. I didn't have anything for like 3 months.
I was repping you.
Yeah. I mean, I got so much help from everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like you probably picked up so much faster than anybody else would because of all those like
10 years
industry-
of 10 years of getting. I always associate to ARIA of like, we got to see every florist that was like worth anything coming into that building, every caterer coming in, every rental company coming in. I mean, we got to meet everybody that came in there, and so I'm forever grateful for that. And so when I went on my own, I basically 2019 raised my hand. I was like, I'm doing this now. Here's my website. I built it. And then I would help other people. Like, I worked for Carly at Girl Friday, learned so much. I worked with Todd Pinzuni on a couple of his events, which I would still love to keep doing because you learn so much.
Yep.
And he does crazy cool events.
He does crazy cool. He's like one of my idols. So just, I mean, working for other people in the industry, you learn the back end of what they do, and then that makes you a better advocate as a planner.
And you build a lot of trust between so many of the vendors.
So much.
Yeah.
And be able to ask the questions to see if you can trust somebody. Like, do you just think about the pretty stuff, or are you thinking about the logistics in the back end? And like, can you functionally pull off what you're like pitching to this client over here?
Yeah, very important.
So much learning. 2019 was great. I paid my bills, paid my rent, full year. Then 2020 hit. And then I sat around Jessica's house for another year.
But you guys in 2019 also started Bigger Picture Solutions, right?
2020.
Yeah, so
You had to be scheming about it a little bit, right?
We've been talking about it for years.
yeah.
I left Machine Shop in December 2019 to start it in earnest. Kastina was still doing Kastina Co, but we like still planned to like collaborate on it.
Yep.
And then like in March we were both like, whoops.
What do we do?
And actually we were at, and I feel like I might have mentioned this before on the show, but like we were at the MNFEA conference, Minnesota Festival and Events Association. It's like the weekend that year. It was in Duluth. It was the weekend before St. Patrick's Day.
Yep, like the weekend of.
Oh, the weekend,
it was
yeah.
like leading up to it because it was
Yeah.
Thursday
Oh, yeah.
through
That's
Friday,
right.
or Wednesday through Friday.
And like there was a lot of like talking about things like before we left, whatever. And then when we got up there, it was like all event people and like
all festival events.
Yeah. Suddenly, like the people that were planning like the Irish, parade, like were getting pulled into like conference calls, like people, like everybody was like suddenly like having these emergency calls and meetings and stuff.
Nobody was really present at any of the sessions. People were just like staring at each other.
Yeah, we were all just like,
the world is just falling apart while we're all sitting. Like everyone's just losing their jobs over 3 days of being together. It was the weirdest.
It was super weird. It was very
grateful I was with that group.
Yeah, it was like a parallel universe that we stepped into. And it was like we drove away from one world and then drove back to another one. And we're like, oh, what is going to happen now? We don't know.
I remember sitting with the gals that were running the state fair. And like we weren't doing the session that like we weren't doing the exercise. You turn around and meet your partner.
You're just refreshing the news.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, what are you guys going to do with the fair? Because the St. Patty's Day parade people are in the hallway canceling the parade behind us.
Right. Yeah, it was very, very weird.
And they switched the keynote speaker. That was from Homeland Security.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it was supposed to be about
terrorism stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then they switched it to like COVID stuff.
They're like, can you tell us what's happening in the world?
So my birthday's March 12th.
There it is.
I figured it's a good time
Kelly,
to mention it.
Yeah.
So COVID was starting all around that time. And, you kind of like, you just brush it off like nothing. This will blow.
This will blow over.
It's like whatever or something else.
I know. We're supposed to be in lockdown for 3 weeks and we're just like, it'll be great.
Well, so I had a basketball game. It was like, I think a Tuesday or something. And it was like, I went to basketball. But like all day when I was at ARIA, we were getting phone calls like NCAA was canceling plans and events. And we went and played our game where we were like, I don't know if we're going to play. And then we played our game, but the game after us, everything else was canceled.
Wow.
Whoa.
So it was like happening in real time.
Yeah.
And then, it's just a weird birthday to have. But
forever.
Yeah.
That's locked in there for you.
It's locked in.
Yeah.
But it was really wild times.
I remember driving back from that conference. We were together driving home. And I was like, don't worry, I have a toilet paper subscription.
Yeah.
I signed up for last month.
She literally had just gotten a Who Gives a Crap or whatever it's called, like had just gotten a toilet paper subscription. We're like, okay, well, at least we know we've got that on lock.
Yeah, we did. I don't even know that we had just started hearing that it was starting to empty out at Targets because we're like, do we go to Target? What do we buy? Like,
right. And then I proceeded to go and buy everything that I ended up throwing away 3 years later when it was expired. And I was just manically I don't know. I'm going to get a bunch of soup. I have no idea. Yeah.
I got a couple of those Brita water things.
The
water filter.
Yeah.
A couple of those because you couldn't get bottled water.
Oh, yeah. No, I just got a life straw.
Yeah.
Just drink it up.
You had one from traveling, didn't you?
Yeah. I bought another one.
Yeah.
You still use it?
I mean, I don't have to, but I suppose I could.
Usually the water's pretty decent.
Yeah. I've used it.
Yeah.
Moving water.
So then we just sat around and we had a lot of fires out in my little fire pit and stared into the flames for hours at a time.
I mean, what else was there going to do? I went on a lot of walks in your neighborhood. Yeah. Just, what are you going to, what do you do? You had a lot of video calls. Mm-hmm. You were trying to save the world. I was just like, I'm going to stare at
I don't know what I was doing. I was making really mediocre websites for the Minnesota Event Coalition and being I don't know, I'll help. Yeah.
Do you think that relationship with the Minnesota Events Coalition helped Bigger Picture Solutions? Because you started it right around that exact time, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was I don't even know for sure if I had a website started even yet at that point. I think we did a lot of that during COVID.
We did so much of it. I mean, we built business during COVID. We had nothing else to do.
Yeah, it's a perfect time.
It was
perfect.
It was
perfect.
Awful in so many ways.
Yeah.
And then also such a weird reprieve in other ways of I've never taken a break between jobs. When I left my job between whatever it was I was doing beforehand, the Campus Club, between Campus Club and ARIA, I had a 2-week overlap where I was working both jobs because the person that was replacing me was on maternity leave, and so I just juggled them both. Then when I left ARIA, I went to Machine Shop. It was a 2-month overlap, I think, or something like that, and it was the first time I'd ever been okay, I'm going to take a break,
Yeah.
And when Kastina's, and I know this is your story, but her wedding started canceling.
Yeah.
And we were both just sitting around being like, what do we do now? So we decided like, okay, well, we're going to go all in on bigger picture solutions. And like, we started just like working on what we wanted to look like and what our values were and what we like really wanted to do with it. And it's changed, it's evolved in ways that I don't think we could have even anticipated back then. But it really did kind of help ground us in like what our values were and what we cared about in a way that I feel like if we hadn't had that time, we would have just been like so busy doing things that we wouldn't have had time to reflect on that until perhaps like it was too, like we'd messed up and then we're like, we can't do this. And there's been a few times where we've gotten like opportunities come our way where we're like, you know what, like this doesn't sync with our values. We can't do this. Like we're not interested in this kind of
spent the time knowing how to pivot when it faced us.
Starting a venue consulting business when venues were
shut down,
demolished.
Right.
It's a good like. It's a really cool story.
Well, I mean, it's like high low, right?
So you just had like the faith, like it's gonna come back.
Well, and I mean, in the beginning, we were a little scared, but I do think eventually we were like, it has to come back. I mean, look at how many people were like doing events that were illegal. You know, people wanted to do events badly, and I think we also relatively quickly realized that like there's going to be this flood afterwards of events. And I think a lot of people realized that there would be not enough places to do events. And that's when like the venue market started to really like explode. And we were lucky to be involved in a lot of projects during that time frame. I mean, now obviously like Minneapolis in particular is like super saturated, but there wasn't as nearly as many before that. So
no. I mean, and then you have all these people not going back to work, and then you have all these commercial spaces empty, you know, now. So, I mean, it's been good for our work. We've had a lot of people come to us being like, hey, I got this empty commercial space. Can I do events in it? And at first, we could like make the numbers work for people, but because we do market research for people fairly consistently, the saturation became more and more evident. And now probably like 1 in 3 we tell it's not going to work.
Right. Like, and sometimes we tell them it's not going to work and they do it anyways. And then
well, that's fine.
There's a few that have like shut down because we told them like we don't think this is viable. Right. They went ahead with it and then it wasn't viable.
Yeah. I mean, some people just get really attached to a dream. They dream up in a space that doesn't have parking, or, you know, there's just some reason that they get past, but they're never going to be able to sell clients past it.
Yeah.
So
Is that strictly in Minneapolis?
I'd say the metro in general a little bit, but like primarily, and I mean for a while I'd say that we are saturated on barn venues for sure. There does not need to be more of those. I think that has like culled itself a little bit and probably will continue to cull itself a little bit. And I think over like the next 5 years we'll see like a reckoning of people who like they went into it not understanding like the full scope of what it was going to look like, and then they realized they need to get out of it. So either getting sold or...
Well, and you get burnt out. You don't think it's going to be as much work as it is. And I think that's every entrepreneur probably with a dream and like wanting to start their own business, or especially on private properties when it's like mom and pop shops or just family run venues. It's just they don't understand the late nights and the early mornings. Because you want to sell Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? You want to. Do you realize what that means to your body?
And that you give up pretty much
your
52
life.
Weekends a year.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you're lucky to make you do. You're choosing between the money to make it work and like the rest of your life sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, there was a solid chunk of time where I like didn't go to any weddings, didn't go to any parties.
I mean, the amount just in this job in general, the amount of baby showers and bridal showers that I've missed of my friends and family because my life's booked out a year in advance, but the showers of my family and friends book 4 months in advance, you know, and then the guilt I feel of when people book these special moments around my schedule. Oh my God. I thank you so much, but
also sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that involve, so I guess my question is, because you're all event professionals and have been the managers of the space and everything, does that pertain to an owner, if that makes sense? Like, if I hire you to do all that stuff, am I still involved like that?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. And if you ask as an owner, if you hire bigger picture solutions, do I still have to do that? No, you don't. You should hire us.
You should hire
That's why
us.
you should hire us. So you don't have to give up your life. We're not cheap. Jessica would never let us be that way. But we're well valued and we understand our value, and
We offer a quality product at a quality price.
there we go. Seal that.
Yeah.
So no, you can hire us and we will do that, hard weekend stuff because we are people that have signed up. We have raised our hands to be people that give up our weekends, and that is not easy to do over the course of a lifetime and a career. This job will weed you out. And then, even COVID weeded people out that were like, I am done with giving up my weekends. I want a life.
Yeah. Well, speaking of weeded out, but not actually that yet.
I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about, so COVID, a lot of things drop off, but it's saturated now.
Yeah.
So what do you envision like the future looking like for venues? Do you think they're just going to keep kind of getting scraps, or like, 'cause
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people are like slower.
Yes.
It's just like everybody in general is just a little bit slower. Do you think that will?
And there's a couple venues just knocking it out of the park because they built, basically Disney World for weddings, which is, it's just the competition is higher. You have to get everything right now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't just be a warehouse with chandeliers that rolls out tables. Like, you have to get it all right. It has to be well done. Because competition.
Yeah, there's a ton of other people that can do it, and the thing is like the price point is fairly close across the board for
It
a lot of
is, it
places.
is.
Like, it's not a huge margin of difference, and so I think that like I said, I think there'll be like a reckoning over the next 5 years of people who who got into it that didn't realize like, oh, I don't want to give this much time over to it or whatever, or they'll sell to like, a great example is Machine Shop being now under the ownership of, or the management of D'Amico. Right? Because it's just easier when you have that. What's the expression?
Normally I'm great at this.
When you have like the resources that are shared across
Scalability of
Yeah,
it. Oh my God. We're broken. It's
I know.
Monday. It's a familiar day.
I think of what this expression is, but something of scale.
Yep.
But anyway,
Economy of scale.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry.
When you have economy of scale, which is like if you have 10 properties and 15 event managers versus like one property and having to have 2 event managers, right? Like, you don't need to double your event managers. Like, people can go work at different places.
Yep.
And you've
You can
got
fill
like
holes easier.
shared resources across the board, stuff like that. So either I think what people are seeing is successful right now is things that have that economy of scale or owner operated. So it's like primarily the owners are doing the hard work.
Yeah.
So there's some exceptions to that, and we try to help people find exceptions to that.
Right.
But that's tough.
But I mean, as you know too, like getting labor for people to work on weekends, ask any caterer, it feels
it's
impossible.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're always short 1 or 2 on the weekends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, here's another question, just because this is fascinating, and I think it's actually very important to ask these questions and get these answers, because I think it pertains to a lot of people who are wanting to go down that path. When I said outside of the metro, like let's say St. Cloud, let's say I wouldn't say Burnsville. I think Burnsville is pretty far, pretty
Cloud
close.
is helpful, or
yeah,
like
St. Cloud is a pretty good-
Alexandria.
I was going to say.
yeah, those
Yeah.
locations are those spots that are like, should you do a venue out there? Is that because you're so far away from everybody in the metro? Is that something that is worth that?
I would say when we run the numbers for places outside the metro, depending on what you're trying to do, yes, you have a higher chance of not feeling the level of saturation that the metro has if you have something special.
Yeah, I think that's
You can crush it.
That's it. Like I think that places like St. Cloud, Rochester, Duluth, like they have large populations. Like they have people that want to do weddings in their hometown. Like, but there are places to do them. They just aren't. There's not as many great places to do them. But I think that is changing. Like I think there's a lot of like nice places being built in. What's the one that you worked in the other weekend, like Woods & Co. or whatever?
Yeah,
in like
in Pepin,
Pepin,
Wisconsin.
which is like gorgeous and
It's stunning.
Yeah, I mean, it's like almost a destination at that point because Pepin's not that big, is it?
Pepin's not that big, and everybody still like gets shuttled to Red Wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like it's got a
Don't build another venue in Red Wing. Build a hotel.
Yeah, and if you
Please.
do, let us come work with you because this is Red Wing needs a hotel desperately.
Desperately.
Or hotels, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. I love it.
Does it affect catering and stuff like that?
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah, you lose options for
Yeah.
catering because you can't go out there as far. But
But there's a lot of caterers in those smaller areas that like we just don't know about.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like what is the one that like one of our first big projects when people started going back to like doing events in some scope was Willowbrook in Red Wing, which is amazing, beautiful space. And they had some caterers that they wanted to work with that like we'd never heard of. We couldn't vet them because we'd like never worked with them. Like Le Chien Bleu, I think was one of them.
Yep. Jenny, she's great. She works
Yeah.
out of Welch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a lot more caterers out there, I think, than people really. I, in my previous life, was married, and I got married in Rochester, and like there's a market in those areas. It's just not at the same. It's almost like comparatively to like the Minneapolis market to like the New York market, right? Like we can't compare with New York's market.
right.
We don't want to necessarily. You know, if they looked at ours, they'd be like, nothing, that's nothing, you know? But it's the same from us to like St. Cloud.
Yeah, and I think there's in those towns too. There's a lot of restaurants that want to cater and they're trying to cater, and then you bring in a venue and you part and like Jenny with La Chien Bleu. I believe I'm saying it right. Sorry, Jenny. But I'm pretty sure that when she got on Willowbrook's list, like she was already growing, but that just helped solidify that she can do this.
Yeah.
So
It's creating like economic opportunities in those areas,
Absolutely.
like which is like, I mean, weddings and events in general, like they're huge economy boosters. Like, and I know that there's a lot of flack for like the wedding industrial complex.
yeah.
But it's an economy builder. So
when you said earlier, I'm changing the gears just slightly, but like you have to have it all as far as being a venue.
Yeah.
What are some of those things? And maybe if you want to name a place, you don't have to. I don't want to put you on the spot, but what are the things, and maybe an example of
Sure.
one of those?
I mean, parking's pretty important. If you're downtown Minneapolis, maybe St. Paul, people can kind of get over it. But if your address does not say either of those names, people want parking. They want parking. They want dressing rooms. They want. Sometimes you can get away without AV capabilities, but they want light, natural light. They want tall ceilings. I mean, if you also have to identify what you're trying
Acoustics. Good
to hit. I don't
acoustics.
think people.
you don't always.
I've ran into that one a few times.
Yeah, a few times, but not everyone's smart enough. To, like,
Yeah, they
think
should
through
care
that.
about it,
They should
but
care.
No, I've had
but
people
they don't.
not book
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah, like when you walk into a venue and you just like start clapping, or
yeah, it's
the
like you
uncle
have three
who's on the
people-
tour with you starts like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
like, got a hearing aids. I can't hear shit.
Yeah.
So, that actually.
Well, and you'll notice too, and I think this is a fair thing to say, but a lot of the newer venues in the past 5 years, definitely post-COVID, concrete floors, white walls. You will notice after a year they put fabric panels on the
they put in
ceilings.
soundproofing
That are
after
like big windows. I mean, we all know the Glass House, right?
Right.
The first time I worked there, I saw the name The Glass House as an audio engineer. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which it's not actually as bad at the glass
the
houses
glass
because they
house
make
isn't
glass
that
stuff
bad.
there. But
Yeah.
but it's there's a lot of spaces that are like that though. I mean, machine shops. We had that's why we put in a
Thousands and
absurd
thousands
amount
of dollars
yeah
of draping.
because
This bank is trash for audio.
That is one of them.
It's a glass
Yeah.
house right there.
Yeah. Well, and like the conference that we did recently, the NFT one in August, we did it in the old Toby Keith bar. And when we were there, like just like getting ready for things and walking through, I remember people being like as far away as Alex is right now, and I couldn't hear a fucking thing they were saying because it was just so echoey in there. And then we added in like 800 miles of pipe and drape, and then I could hear everything. I was like, okay, that's what I needed.
And those were like not even like the super thick velour.
They were
or
mostly all
whatever.
banjo. Like
They were. They were.
pretty
You
normal.
almost see through, but it helps so
It
much.
just breaks it up and yeah.
People don't think about audio.
Yeah,
I mean, they just don't. Not when they're dreaming if you're dreaming about a wedding, if you got to also identify who you're trying to, like, what's your market, like, you know. But people don't think it takes, I don't know, a year and a half before you get enough reviews going, I couldn't hear anything in there. And then, yeah.
I did photography at this wedding out, I think it was towards Alexandria, I don't remember, but they had up in the building, the house where or like the barn that they do the wedding at, they had the audio stuff up there with like the receiver thing or whatever. And then the mic all the way down by the lake.
Oh.
And the audio was cutting out.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did
and
that
I was like, I saw it as a issue right away.
Yeah.
And I'm there, but I'm just in my lane because I'm just shooting photos. So I'm like, shut up, Esteban.
Like, don't borrow trouble.
Yeah,
don't borrow trouble.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's like people are nuts with their, like, think about your audio. And if that receiver's like way up that hill, like, please just have the DJ do one, like run on some chords and do a freaking receiver.
I feel
there.
like you have a, not rant, I won't say a rant, but strong feeling. Yeah. I mean, yes. But I think you have strong feelings about why people pick some spaces based on like dressing rooms, right? Like, I feel like, that's something that comes up.
If there's a tip people can walk away from this podcast tonight with, it would be, if you're searching for a wedding venue, something to think about is you'll probably look at some of these dressing rooms, which are beautiful. I get it. But don't forget, you're renting the venue from noon to midnight or 1 to 1. Typically, maybe they let you in at 10 a.m. Some of them are doing that just to be a little nicer.
Yep.
But most of the time, your hair and makeup needs to start at 8. So when you go to book the venue, add the extra hours then, which is probably like $250 an hour, $150 an hour maybe. But you know what you could do with that money? You could just book the nicest suite at the hotel, have that all day, get dressed and get ready with your bridesmaids or whoever.
Yeah. Leave your shit there. You don't
leave
have to
all
worry
your
about
stuff
packing
there.
it all
You
up.
can haul a tote over to the venue when you're ready, but like the dressing rooms are I think sometimes become such a waste of money because you kind of get locked into having to pay for the 8 a.m. arrival because you don't realize when you're booking this venue that your hair and makeup has to start at 8 a.m. And the way better value is to book the penthouse at the hotel and get ready there.
And people are doing these like really extravagant, beautiful dressing rooms. And people get like a vision in their head of like getting ready there and like that experience, but without thinking about like those logistics.
And then a lot of times the venues will make sure that they kick you out at like 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock, like before your ceremony starts and before you're drinking. And I get it. It's because they don't want like the wedding party just in there hanging out, drinking all night, like go back to your party. But I don't know. I don't love that. And I thought it was because like, okay, they want to have their event manager start to clean it up for the night.
Right.
Like so it can be clean and ready for the next day. And I kind of get that double use of labor but so far and what I've seen when I've traveled around as a planner, that's not what's happening. Nobody's cleaning the dressing room.
That's interesting.
They're just kicking them out to like
They don't
kick them out.
They don't want a side party.
They're doing it more and more. Mm-hmm.
Drugs. People doing a bunch of coke on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess.
Also, you can do that in the bathroom. Like
you can do that. I don't
Well, you
know
want to hang out with your
why.
buddies in the big room and do it.
Got that makeup counter, very convenient.
Maybe as venue competition grows, that could just be a thing that people
Goes
stop
away.
doing. Like, just
Yeah.
let them have the dressing room until they leave.
Just put a Coke mirror in the dressing room.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. There's your coffee table.
I feel like I could see maybe like the thought of like if you don't have them pack it all up at like 4 o'clock, they're all too drunk to do it at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
That's
There
not
is
a bad
that.
idea,
I
too.
guess.
But
like
I don't think I agree with like I don't like that experience, but I can understand the rationale a little bit in that way. But I still don't think I don't like the experience from a guest.
No, I think again, as market competition grows, people should ask that question. Why do you do that? Oh, I'm looking at a place that doesn't do that, and maybe that'll stop being a thing, or I don't know. Like, or before you're like dance and get too drunk. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just so annoying to have to like go in and be like, okay, you're all about to walk down the aisle and you're all redoing your hair and makeup. Wait, pack it all up.
Right.
You know,
That is weird.
Or they want a space after the ceremony to just sit and like relax and take a breath. Or like sensory overload. If it was me, I'd be sensory overload and I would want a space.
Right. Or like a place for mothers to go pump or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying they don't even let them in after the?
They try not to. I haven't seen anyone on site
barring
enforce
them.
it, but but they try to be like, you need to be cleaned up and out of here. And I'm like, I'm gonna try, but I got other stuff to do as a planner, so coordinator. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
I
I
feel
wonder
like
if it has to do with. I wonder if it has to do with like the amount of people there, like on staff, to like monitor and pay attention. Because when you get drunk and rowdy, you want to at least contain people into one space.
yeah, but
you know?
really, even with the dressing rooms, like we didn't monitor them that much. It's kind of
No.
a private space. I mean,
Right.
we sometimes would like make up excuses to go in there if we were worried about like them having outside alcohol or something. But most of that happens beforehand, you know? So
You go through their dressing room when they're doing the ceremony.
yeah, you go, oh,
Yeah.
Peek in there and you see, oh, there's a fucking bottle of Jameson. I'm charging them that fee.
Yeah. Then
you go in there
Take
like,
a
"Let me
picture of
just
it so you can
exchange
prove it."
the temperature in here real quick.
Yeah, but like literally what you just said with like, oh, they want a space to decompress or something like that. Well, now you're talking about alcohol being involved, and now you're talking about people going into a quiet
smaller space with the door closed.
Smaller
I don't know. It
space with the
feels
door
real like
closed. Then you
period
actually
to
need to
me.
pay attention to that space rather than it not being paid. I'm just devil's
Yeah, that's
advocate.
fine.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
there's
it's
maybe a reason.
It could be definitely a reason why people do that, make that choice. I mean, to me, it feels unnecessary as people who've done it like a million times.
Yeah.
But I can see the logic. I could see where someone could get there for sure.
What if it was like one more devil's advocate thing? With, like trying to bridge the gap here, because I'm like, I can understand not wanting them to be in that space for that late, because I think cleanup the next morning, I think totally makes sense, because people forget things, especially when they're drunk. What if it was like after the ceremony, they can decompress, and then it's just like before the dinner, if you guys can like get your stuff ready before the actual party starts,
Yeah.
you know?
It's just such a hard time to pull people because they're socializing and they're doing
Right.
things. And like, I can see the argument of like, you have to do it before the ceremony because it's the only time you'll be able to get them all in there to do it because
Yeah.
they're already there.
Yeah.
But like, and that time frame makes more sense, like before dinner or like, you know, before dancing. But it's like almost impossible to get people all wrangled at that point. So
Let them hang.
I don't know. Just let them hang.
let
Like
'em-
you're gonna have cleaner. I mean,
and also they leave stuff. They leave stuff. They can come back and get it on Monday.
they always. That's not gonna stop anywhere from leaving stuff. There's always stuff.
There's always
There's
stuff.
always a woman's shoe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Always.
Singular shoe or like a pair of underwear or something like
belt.
that.
There was that at ARIA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kelly kept it.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I know the picture.
And
Oh,
then,
I have a picture on my phone of like, it's
oh,
on my Instagram.
Remember the butt?
Yes,
remember
there. I have an Instagram of
yeah.
it. It's like some
butt implant, like not
padded
Oh,
underwear.
That might have been the one.
Yeah.
It's padded underwear.
Well, then she put it in my fucking work bag one day when I went home, and I pulled it out at home, like in
Yeah.
front of like kids and
Yeah.
shit.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And I was like, "What?" And there's like a red wine stain on it. I'm like, "What the?" And I'm like, "Kelly, that."
God damn it, Kelly.
So then at that ARIA going away party
Yeah.
thing, do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Oh yeah,
Remember that
absolutely.
underwear thing? Yeah, that was pretty fun.
So Kelly pranked me about a year and a half ago. She put these underwear in my bag, and I went home and I saw them in my bag, and I had no idea how they got there. And it fucked me up for like a week.
Yeah, I cried. Yeah.
I think I won the trivia though. I was really proud of myself.
Yeah. Feels a little unfair, but yeah,
I know.
Sure, yeah.
Like a little bit, but
Yeah.
it was. I did cry a lot. I walked in. I wasn't expecting like they had like the slideshow of pictures and stuff, and I didn't. I don't know. I just didn't think about it, and I like immediately there was like 3 photos that flashed up, and I was like,
Yeah, it was sad putting that together.
I bet.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was meaningful. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Thanks for being there.
we snuck in the side door at the very last wedding on
Yep.
New Year's or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, everyone was like, "Yeah, I gotta grab what I can or whatever."
Yeah,
like
right.
that thing that's been in the corner for
Yeah, that thing
20
hanging on
years.
the wall that we've collected for
Like the owl that came.
Yeah, that.
Oh, yeah.
Is that when you got grabbed it that night?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it might have been afterwards when they were like, because I went in at one
Oh.
point when there was this
Yep.
stuff that was like going to get thrown away.
Yeah,
and
Kelly was
Oh,
like,
yeah, you
okay,
were
this is
picking
the
up booze.
last day.
Yeah, I got some booze.
Riley or
I picked
something.
up like some awards that they were going to throw away that were ones that I only took ones that like were during my tenure, like that we won, which then I put behind me on my screen so I look like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
we have
yeah,
meetings
right,
and stuff.
right.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like just a lot of random shit that we collected a lot of weird things there.
I grabbed that ARIA "Do Not Enter" sign.
Yep. I have a mirror.
I was in one of the last days.
Did anyone take any of the letters that were this world is ours?
Those were sold with the building.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah, those were
makes
that.
sense.
I did get a piece of art. Have I told you this story?
Don't know. It probably.
So Kelly and I were having a conversation, or a bunch of us were having a conversation that night at the last one about like, if you could take one piece of art, what would it be? And I, jokingly, stupidly, was like, I would take that picture of Jesse Ventura from The Predator.
Oh, that was a great one.
Yeah, it's like giant. It's a giant canvas, like picture of Jesse. It's like art looking. I don't know what the word.
Just looks like a.
It's like a painting of Jesse Ventura.
Yeah, but
and it was up in the VIP rooms, and I was like, yeah, I would take that one because I had a conversation with Jesse Ventura in front of the picture. Yeah, I showed it to him, and then he proceeded to talk to me for like 20 minutes about whales and Mexico, and I was like, okay, I gotta go now. Like, it got into weird uncle mode. Like, I was just like, okay.
I was outside with him for 45 minutes talking about fluoride in the water.
Oh, Lord.
I love that guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then I got an email like a few days later, and Jason was like, I heard you wanted this. Do you want to take it? And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. And I was like,
I do.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got it home and was like, wow, the scale of this in my house is very different than in ARIA. It's so big. It's like almost as tall as me.
Yeah.
And there was like nowhere that I could put it that made any sense. Like, it was in my basement, like on a desk down there. And for a while during COVID, or actually after you moved out, it was a place where I would sometimes journal and stuff. And then one day I realized that I had like a journal and some candles and like crystals sitting on this desk with a giant
shrine.
I was like, it looks like a fucking shrine. I gotta move this.
You gotta move
this
that.
is weird.
You're like writing in your notebook,
Dear
the fluoride in this water.
You're almost myself.
I love you.
Legalizing weed and all that.
Exactly. So I did move it because I was like, okay, that's weird. I look like a creep for sure.
It's like him looking all like strong as
with
shit,
like a machine gun,
rugged as fuck. It's just like so manly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It looks ridiculous in my house. I still haven't found a good place to put it, but I do treasure it. It is.
Send a picture.
I will.
God, I was gonna. Oh, so we were talking about the venue and stuff like that, but like, talk about the amount of power that a venue has.
Oh yeah. Now that I am not only a venue manager anymore, and I am, had started when I was on my own, like mostly day of coordination, versus like being able to use the term planner. And I try to be careful about when using those.
What's the difference?
I mean, coordinator is I'm showing up like a month before, like you did all the planning. I didn't plan this. I just took the plan you had and organized it better with the knowledge of what I have and how this actually works and the logistics and the timing.
Plugged all the holes.
I coordinated it.
Yeah.
I coordinated your plan versus, no, I planned this all. I did a design deck. I told you what vendors to use. So that's the difference to me. And now that I've been on that side, I realize, I've always known this, but as the venue being the first big ticket item someone signs their life away to or their big day away to, the amount of power that vendor and the scope of all of them has is so significant because you're the house of it. Mm-hmm. You're the host of it. You
set all the rules.
You set all the rules. You say when you can get in. You say when you have to leave. You say the policies and procedures for like all the other vendors. You set the playbook for all the vendors and all the guests and the clients to play by. And now that I've been on this coordinator and planner side and I specifically try to go to venues I've never been to or haven't heard of, so that I can see how they're doing things. And it is so interesting to me, the documents I've received, multiple venues of like, this is what we expect out of a day of coordinator. Now, we came up with that too when we were at ARIA, and we were the first venue to ever say, you need a day of coordinator. That was so hard to push in the market.
It was really hard in the beginning. People were like very upset about it.
Because this
wasn't the norm.
This market didn't, there was like 3 event planners. There was Sarah Trotter and Gretchen and what's her name? Kristen out of Rochester and
Amy Zaroff.
And of course Amy Zaroff.
Fab Events.
Yeah, Fab Events. Like that was it. There was a few planners, but then the term day of coordination, you didn't make it up, but we're like, you need to have somebody there to coordinate your day. So we worked really hard on a document that said, this is what the coordinator does versus...
It was a great document.
Thank you very much. We worked very hard on that. And I still I still use it.
Yeah,
And
I've used
it's all
it.
very reasonable.
I
It's
did.
like
Yeah.
stuff that's like, it's your decor. It's your
Stuff. You don't have another vendor to be in charge of it.
Right.
Like you made your own place cards, so you have to set that up. Like I'm your venue person. I'm not going to do it, but like we had to start drawing the line somewhere
Well, and
because
also
we were becoming coordinators.
Right. And we had to make sure the toilets weren't overflowing.
Right, which is like a whole job.
Yeah, 3 of us.
Yeah.
Like, we're busy, working on the toilets. Like somebody's got to be in charge,
Right.
of the
well,
wedding.
and as a venue manager there, you are in charge of the building. You are in charge of the utilities. You are in charge of the temperature. You are in charge of the bathrooms. You are in charge of overall the safety of and security of the guests at your property. So you are pretty important, and you can't be bogged down by doing 300 place cards, which take, 2 8-foots and forever and just zeroed in. You really have to be above it to play at the level we wanted to play at and we were getting at ARIA. So we developed that. People did not like it. They were like, you're telling me I have to, it's already $10,000 and now I have to pay. We're like, okay, here's the deal. You don't have to pay.
No, you don't have to hire them.
You don't have to hire somebody.
In charge.
Oh, we worked on that language forever.
Somebody who's not a guest.
Yep.
Somebody who's not a guest.
Dedicated.
This is all things that we literally would
we tweaked it.
No, that language is probably the same language
that everybody used.
Yeah.
We need to have somebody who's in charge of things like queuing, that knows the vendors, that knows the order, that knows the names of your bridal party, like all those things. Important.
I did one. You'd be proud of me.
Yeah.
One day of court, I might have reached out to you and been like, "What do I charge?"
Yeah, you did. I remember this.
I brought that sheet to the meeting, and I was like, "All right." So and I just went down the list, and it was like everything to the T. You guys didn't leave any stone unturned.
That's the last page on my day of coordination sheet still. Yeah.
Let's put a link in the notice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're happy to share that. Like,
so happy.
Important.
Oh, I've sent it to other venues. Like, just use this
100%.
because, like, you don't. I understand that you don't know what you're doing because you just created this venue and it's been a dream of yours and all. That's great. And like, maybe you should pay me for this. But whatever. I don't care. I feel it's more important that we continue to have this conversation about the difference of what the venue can do, should do, and how much they can push the coordinators and the planners to do. Because photography's identified, right? The DJ's role is identified at this point. The florist role is identified. The caterer's role is
right.
But the coordinator role, still new, still ebbing and flowing. It's still murky. Like, and all the coordinators themselves coming up and becoming coordinators also don't know what they should or shouldn't be doing. I mean, I'm lucky enough to get to be on the Minnesota Planner group on Facebook, which is just such a helpful group of us all looking out for each other. And new coordinators will post stuff in there of like, hey, I got this sheet of expectation. This is where I know.
Cassie doesn't for a rant here.
I know. I got this sheet from the venue of the expectations for the day of coordinator, and I said, I will always reply to those ones. I was like, let me take a look at this, and we got to look at like what scope creep is from the venue pushing on a coordinator of like, are you really just, am I labor for you? Am I employee for you?
Yep.
Because some of these things, like, I'm not above taking trash out. I will never be, okay? But some of these things are like, you just don't want to pay labor to be here right now.
Right.
Like, you didn't realize when you started this venue that, like, you have to do the room flip.
Yep.
It's your tables and chairs. I don't own
liability.
It's your liability.
Yep.
It's your equipment. I don't maintain your tables and chairs. I don't know which, like this one with the ding over here, you have to like hit the lever a little extra harder and won't fall. Like, I don't know those things about and it's not that I won't help, but I'm not insured for your stuff.
Yeah. What about? Yeah, I've had a few venues that like you have to lock the building,
right?
And you have to like.
It's really just like such a wild thing for them to expose themselves to from a liability perspective.
It's such a weird thing
because like, what if you don't lock the door right? You know, like, and this is like it goes both ways. Like,
yes,
you as a like for the clients can't push everything onto the venue, but the venue shouldn't be pushing everything back onto like the planner,
their
right?
coordinator or whoever. No, shouldn't.
It's got to be like a fair breakdown of like who's in charge of what based on like what your liability is,
right?
What you're making money off of,
right? Oh, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have to clean all the cups up, but I'm not the bartender and I'm a coordinator. I'm not making money
get tips on
off
this.
your liquor liability.
Right.
You have the liquor
it's,
license.
It's the client's stuff, right? Technically,
No,
it's
not.
like, well, they hired all the stuff, right?
It should be.
But then the client pushes it on you guys.
Then the venue is like, you need to clean up all the trash. You need to clean up all the cups off the table, and that's like, I was like, oh nope. You are making a 400% markup on your liquor license. You're making the best profit here.
Yeah.
Like, no. It's not that I won't do it. I will absolutely help out. I'm a team player here, but you are asking me to be labor for money I don't make, profit I don't make. Here is I've pushed back so many times. I love that. Here is my scope of.
I get BCC'd on all of them.
Jessica is BCC'd on most of these emails.
BCC'd on a lot of emails in the industry, just so everybody knows. You can always BCC me on it. I keep it to myself.
Yeah. I will send them my contract. I will send the venue. This is the scope of work. Yep. I have outlined with the client. I'm very clear in my scope of work. I've been on both sides now. Like, this is the client has signed up for this scope of work with me to do everything that they brought. You as a venue don't get to you don't get to tell me what to do. You can ask me to participate in a certain way, but you don't have a contract signed with me.
Right.
You're not paying
your
me
employee.
Money. Yeah. I'm not your employee.
Right.
I am the client's employee. Right. So if you want to identify the scope, and I can, venues are like, okay, well then I'll just make the client signing my contract have a separate sheet that says what their coordinator can do or will do. That's fine. But if you want to be a venue that plays at a certain level with the planners at a certain level and get certain clientele, you gotta watch it. You have to play nice in the sandbox, and you can't be a bully to us,
right?
Because we bring business to you. We are your referral source.
That's
if you want
true.
Good events to come back to you.
Yeah, because
planners will blacklist venue.
They talk about this.
We all talk about it.
It gets talked about a lot just because it's not out in the open. Like, there's planners that won't work at certain venues because of the rules that they put into place. Yep. And like, good
as
for
long
them.
as we can help it. Yeah. Like, if I get an inquiry and it's a certain venue that has been a
problem
or a bully, I'm I'm booked.
And the issue with that is then they end up booking like somebody who's new, who doesn't know, who's green.
And then that coordinator gets pushed around, and
then they become like intense about their boundaries later, which as they should. But that's it, when clients sign that contract, they don't understand that distinction. So it really is the venue taking advantage of the lack of information that client has, and they are underwriting their labor by making it somebody else's job.
Yep.
And that's not fair. You can't charge $10,000 because
and not take care of the trash. I will take it out. I will be a team player, but you're in charge of the utilities.
Yeah,
that's why we paid you $10,000.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like if you are charging $10,000 because you want to be comparable with this, and this venue, then you should be offering at least the majority of the similar amenities as them. Yeah. And there's such a wild swing between like what one venue will offer and what another one will, and that is where like the industry standardization is not there.
It's not.
But needs to be there. And then a lot of it comes down to like education of clients, and like some of that comes down to like booking your planner before your venue.
Right. Or heck, and I am about to just put a whole section on my website about this. I will read your venue contract for you before you book it. Yeah. Like, you can pay me my hourly rate. I will read it to you. I will tell you what to say. I mean, you can probably run this through ChatGPT, but like, I speak venue now. Yeah. Like, I can write it better for you so you get the response that I hope that you can get out of it. But like, you don't have to hire me as your day of coordinator or your planner. I will just, and all planners, like, I will read the contracts for you. Just send them to me.
47 bullet points.
Yes, I will.
And then BCC me on it.
Yeah.
But it's like,
I want to help that industry standard become something so the power play isn't abusing either role.
And if somebody is taking advantage of the client in that way, chances are they might do it in other ways too.
Right.
And for some, it's just a lack of knowledge that they don't understand.
It is.
Like, this is not how this is done and not how it should be done.
Right.
Just because you can get away with it doesn't make it ethical.
Right.
And isn't going to make it long lasting.
Right.
Like, it's going to burn bridges in the long run.
And you will quietly get blacklisted.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys all know each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So planners talk, y'all.
Yeah.
They all,
I mean,
they
the
all
industry
know.
in general talks. Like, you know, everybody knows certain venues that caterers don't like to work with because the kitchen's hard. You know, like
Oh,
certain things like that.
100%.
Like, we all know which ones those are, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just, we all, even if it's like
Worked at some of them.
floor, none named, but even if it's like the floors have a hard time loading in or the elevators there, they don't let you use it, that kind of stuff. Like, everybody knows those things. And like, if you're a venue, your job is to like be as accommodating as possible within your boundaries and what you can do and what you can do comfortably, and being very upfront about those things so people understand what it is, but making it reasonable, you know,
Right.
to whatever extent you can.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So now that we've gone on some serious rants about things that we care a lot about or very passionate about, which is awesome. One of the other reasons that we had waited to have you on and to talk about this stuff was waiting for some stuff to come out with the wedding that you did like about a year ago.
Yeah.
Which we affectionately refer to as a weed wedding.
Yes, we do.
And when you speak of Kastina Co being an award-winning vendor or event planner and company, wow, yep. Maybe I didn't need the second one.
Monday.
Yeah. This is specifically this wedding that you did. You've won 2 Star Awards, ILEA Star Awards, or 3? Okay.
2 locally.
Yep. And then 2 of the International Esprit Awards for this wedding.
That's 4 pieces of glass.
I know. It's very shiny in her office right now, like reflective. Makes her like one up here.
I know. God, it's pitiful. What the hell are you even doing?
But this was a wedding specifically that you did for some folks that are really heavily involved in the cannabis industry. And they did this on their property.
No, they did it on an acquaintance friend, somebody else in the industry who was a grower.
Okay.
So it's MJ Haberdashery in Oakdale, Minnesota. Hey, MJ. So she offered her property to them to do it, and so she gave us all a tour, and there's like, you know, there's plants like everywhere.
Like a field?
No, she like grows them just like around, like you would just grow like
a garden
normal
in your backyard.
Yeah, it's just like a normal garden. They have this beautiful willow tree like in the center, and like the driveway goes around it, so like that's where we did the ceremony. And the couple themselves, both in the cannabis industry, Rochelle, my friend from college, she's a writer and has been in the cannabis industry since the birth of it, professionally, like as professional as you can be about it.
Green State.
.org
is or .com is her website.
Know this.
One of those two.
Update that.
Yeah.
But she's spoken at like every conference that there has ever been about cannabis since it got legal in Colorado. So she knows a lot. And then Kurt, her now husband, is a grower and works, I forget who he works for, but he's still doing that. And for this wedding, his own wedding, he grew 3 strains for it, and then grew sunflowers and other flowers for it. So like he grew most of the plants for it.
Oh, I didn't realize he did that flowers too. That's
he did. Style Society, big shout out to them for like taking this on with me and with them.
Yeah.
They added in floral just to punch it up a little bit, supplement it, because we had this huge installation over the dance floor in the tent with like cannabis plants and, you know, hanging down, and they had to test this out, like, because she the bride saw an installation in California, and she's sending me a bunch of pictures, because our biggest question was like, once you cut the leaves, how long is that, you know, is that palm gonna last until it starts to curl?
Right.
Because this hasn't been played
Right.
with that much. So they gave Style Society, Ashley over there, just like buckets. I mean, I have pictures.
buckets, literal, like buckets of
Marijuana plants.
Yeah.
In there, they're like, you got to come down to the studio and see this, because they were testing it.
Still in dirt, or they would just
Nope.
they cut them.
They
and
cut
then
'em.
threw them in water. Or?
Yep. I mean, they gave them product to test with first, and then like by the time of the wedding, it was buckets of it.
I mean, it was a explosion of florals, and it just so happened that like 50% of that was all marijuana plants.
Yep,
and, like,
with full buds. So so then they did the aisle arrangements, which of course became the centerpiece too. And so like it's the first time maybe ever, and they were beautiful. Like they were so well done that you could pick a bud off the centerpiece. But luckily for you as a guest, we also had a joint roller on site,
bud tender,
the bud tender. Yep. So you could just go over there. You didn't have to like, make your own at your table.
I gotta grab this for later.
I mean, people did though.
Oh, I'm sure they did. Yeah.
I mean, all of us as vendors got tipped in flour. So, I mean, I think I just went through my gummies that she gave me too, because she gets free stuff being in the industry, and she gets tester products too. But we had a bud tender there, and that was super important to them because the whole goal of this was to just not make this a dirty hippie wedding.
Right.
Like, this is a special part of their journey together, of their work, something they're super passionate about. A good, like, third of their guests are, California sober, but, like, no alcohol. So we didn't do any hard liquor. We only did beer, wine, and THC drinks, and then the bud tender. And the bud tender, his name's Pete, he's a friend of mine, is also a licensed drug and alcohol abuse counselor. So, and we all got together a month before the wedding too and tried all 3 strains that he was going to be rolling the joints for, so we like could understand the effects and what it's meant to do. We tried them all. A lot. But it was fun. And we had a chair in the corner of the barn in case anybody got weird. And
That's where I'd be.
I'm inside, but I'm outside. But I feel like I'm inside or whatever.
My inside panic attack. Yes, that was me. Yep.
Yeah. There's not a lot of well, that's not true. I was gonna say cancer, so that's just maybe it's just you and my dad that don't like weed. But so we had that. That was super fun. There's some amazing pictures from that. Liquid Motion took on the project and sent some bartenders that were really experienced with THC too to talk people through it. And I mean, it would probably be good to have, maybe those bartenders on to talk about it, or I should like ask them a little bit more about how they walked people through that experience, or like if they waited a little extra longer. Because that's really like the big question to me that I've brought up on a panel before. How do we deal with people that are going to get crossfaded? Mm-hmm. Nobody knows. There's not training right now for that. We'll just sit them down a corner, I guess, and like give them water like anything else. But
send them on their way.
Right. And I think
what
some
is
people
crossfaded? Sorry.
Oh, crossfade. Just you've been drinking, so you did like go and drink 4 Bud Lights, and then you also got 2 joints.
Got a little drunk and a little high, and now you're
I get this really bad. So what happens if I drink too much? And
like when I get super drunk and then smoke
I've experimented. I know it happens every time. This is why I don't do it. If I've drank enough, and even if I have just like a puff or anything, I start spinning.
Oh, yep. I think this is why I don't like smoking weed, because I did that too many times in my 20s. Mm-hmm. One time I projectile vomited spaghetti all over the wall of somebody's house. Like, yeah, it's not good.
No. Yeah. I think once you have like one bad experience, you probably, maybe not, but like you probably don't do it. Well, okay.
Well, not everybody recognizes right away that's
what happened.
Yeah, what it is.
Yeah,
right.
It's all going to take education. It's going to take the bartenders, because now in Minnesota, very uniquely to us, is we can do these drinks right alongside ordering any kind of other seltzer. And I don't know how these regulations are going to play out, but we just wanted to be as careful as we could about it. The biggest problem at the wedding in the end was that like people would not let me set up the dessert buffet. They were just like, I was like, I'm not done yet.
Just
they were just on it. They wanted, we had whole pies. It was again, the goal was to make an elevated weed wedding that like she had already rented chairs. I was like, I think we need nicer chairs, and she's like, okay, and then I was like, we don't need the velvet napkins. She's like, no, I think we need. We were just trying to raise that. We just so badly wanted this to be, and we knew we were going to try to get it published, too, and so we really wanted this to be a showcase moment to the industry of what you can do. Yep. Now, again, the insurance and the rules are going to keep
Things
playing
are very
but
nebulous right now. But
I think we did our best.
And theirs was on private property, so it's different. Yep. Like you don't have all the same rules.
Right.
Like venues,
it's not a Marriott.
Right. Yeah. No kidding. But venues have really different rules and challenges when it comes to that. But on private property, like you could get away with a little bit more. And the photos are fantastic. Obviously, it's won awards. Like it, I think sets a really beautiful tone for the industry for what you can do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
can be
send
done.
some of those our way.
Yeah, I will.
okay, so we're probably going to wrap up pretty soon. So I think we should talk about some horror stories real quick. It's very funny because when we asked you about some of the stuff beforehand, Kastina just wrote, I don't know, JB, tell me. And I was like, I don't know.
Spill it.
Yeah.
I've blacked them all out.
Right.
I'm just like, I love my job so much.
But I do
What
think
you mean?
that's
There's
real.
bad ones.
Like,
Yeah.
I get like the oxytocin or whatever it is
Yes.
afterwards, where it's just like, that was a great event. And then someone will be like, you got physically assaulted. I'm like, that's right.
I forgot about that uncle, like, was so mean to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot all about it. But yeah, I feel like if you've got a couple, but I do specifically want you to tell the story of lighting yourself on fire.
Yes. Okay. I can tell this. I lit myself just on fire. So it was. It's a good like regroup to something else we talked about. So,
Trying to picture the noises you made.
oh my god,
There's probably
I don't
none,
even-
actually.
There's none. There was none. It was
the sound of fire going by
just,
quick,
It
yeah.
was literally just that.
Did you stop, drop, and roll?
I did. I did. It's wild where that comes from in your brain when you need to use it.
Yeah.
It's there. So that's awesome. Thank you, elementary school. So it was Willowbrook Farm. It was their first wedding because remember, we told you that we worked with them during COVID. So she couldn't open right away, which sucked for her. But what happened is it was going to be her daughter's wedding because it was going to be their first event. And the rules were changing. Like the whole time I felt so bad for them. They ended up only being able to have 36 people. Like we thought because again, rules were changing. I felt so bad. So we were doing, just everything we could to make this the best day for them. She built this property. We really got to know Becca.
They're awesome.
And her family. And so I was very determined to make this go well. And part of what they wanted to do in the evening was go to the fire pit and do s'mores. And she had this really cute cart and she made all this cute stuff and it was super adorable. And it was raining outside, but I was determined. It was just drizzling. It was fine. It was pretty wet. It was like super wet outside, but I was like, it's drizzle. It's fine. And they were like, yeah, we had a fire the other night. And then I saw like, there's a tank of gas. So I was like, okay, I never do this. I never you know me. I love to start a fire.
She does.
I'm very proud of it.
This
one
woman
light.
went through so much firewood in my backyard during COVID era and after while we lived together.
Yep.
She loves to start a fire. She's very proud of her fire starting skills.
I am. I'm very proud of my fire. So I never cheat, okay? But I was determined and I wanted to get this fire going. So I got the gas tank and I'd already started to light it too, okay? But it was raining, so I couldn't get it. I had like little embers under there, like
poured a bunch of
under a little
gasoline on
TV.
it?
So then I was trying to, but I couldn't get the gas because you have to pull the thing so the air, like,
Yeah, they make them
Again,
so complicated.
they do.
now.
I didn't know. Again, I never use it. So what happened is there was just enough drip to a fume and a drip that the embers caught it
Oh my god.
and went up this.
Oh yeah. That's why they say don't do it. That's exactly why they tell you not to do that.
I did it and it lit me all on fire all the way down.
It didn't blow up?
No.
I mean, time stopped, and time stopped. Paula, who was there, who was the assistant and the venue manager that day, said, "Kastina, you're on fire." And I looked at the giant thing of gas, and I threw it
Started a different fire.
into the field.
It was raining, so thankfully.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I didn't know what else. So why didn't
Yeah.
I just throw it into the other thing? I don't know.
Well, because it would have been a fireball.
Then it
Then,
would have been a fire. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I threw it. I understand audio of "you are on fire." I stopped, drop, and roll onto the grass. Thank God. I did hit a little bit of like the concrete of the fire pits. There's still a little bit of a scratch on my rubber boots, but I had a long sleeve black dress on and black tights and rubber boots on. It was raining. I was like, I'm going to take these tights off and they're going to be melted. Like they're going to
To
be
your skin.
they're going to be melted to my skin once I like got up and like sorted myself out. I went to the bathroom. I was fine. Nothing Nothing was on me. My hair didn't light on fire that time.
I know. I was
that
going to
other
follow
time.
up with this story.
Yeah.
Little hairs on your arm.
No, because I was like totally. It was like
She was
like an
covered.
athletic dress. I had like
Oh.
it was totally covered. And the other funny thing that could have happened is my brother just got accepted to the Red Wing Fire Department the week before, and I was like, my brother's going to show up to
And
this.
be like, Kastina, you
because
idiot.
we called because I threw the gas can, so I was like, I think we have to call 911.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid of this entire. It's called the Flower Valley of. Like by Red Wing, I was afraid this whole thing was just gonna torch. Like it's a whole pasture. It didn't. 'Cause it
Local
was
woman
nice and wet.
burns down Flower Valley.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah. After you consulted on building the venue, good job.
Yeah. No, she came out of that one unscathed, but I do have to tell you a story. When we were living together at one point, she also really liked to grill, and I had a gas grill. And one time she like turned on the gas and then I think got distracted or
Oh my
something,
God.
and then came back and had the lid closed, came back later, opened it, lit it, and all I heard was this poof. And then I was in the room and she's like, Jessica! And I was like, what the hell is going on? And I come out there, she's like, am I on fire? Is my face on fire? Is my hair gone? What happened?
Is my hair gone? Aren't you have eyebrows?
Yeah, and her eyebrows were all there, but all her baby hairs had been like
And
singed.
all my little.
And her lashes were singed. Yeah, it was really funny.
I don't light a lot of fires
Yeah.
anymore.
Note to self.
Yeah, no gas at least. I still do it with just like a lighter, but like no, I'm too
gas.
scared of propane. And
I was getting gas for like our lawnmower up at our space up north this weekend, and I was taking my little like gas can, and on it said, "Do not use to light a fire." And I was like, "Yeah, don't do that."
Pyro.
yeah, fire sign.
Okay, so we probably don't have time for more, but I do want to ask like kind of our last question is like, what are your long-term goals and plans?
Oh my gosh, this is actually something I would like to journal about this weekend. I feel like
Use this as your journal.
I know
Here it is.
I need to like have a regrowth moment now that I'm doing, both planning and venue stuff, but I would say we kind of talked about it as like helping set industry standards that are good boundaries for all. And being able to constantly find balance for everybody and just keep us all talking and all of us communicating together, because if we don't do that, there are going to be boundary bullies and there's going to be bullies in the industry that push things in a weird way. But it's a small sandbox here, and collaboration over competition every day.
Awesome.
And building our dope venue out in Medina.
Yeah, that one.
Ooh, I can't wait for that. I'm working there.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said it. Yeah, we'll see. I
Give
said
me
I
a
want to.
sheet of your responsibility.
I want to be like the dude on The Simpsons that just drives the lawnmower around.
Yeah,
and
you'll
just-
be our Willie.
I'll
Yeah,
be
Willie the
Willie, just
groundskeeper.
getting drunk out in the field. No, but do you want to plug anything?
Bigger picture solution.
Yeah.
Hire us.
Hire
What did you
us.
say earlier? We value or the quality.
Quality product for quality.
Yeah,
price.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I mean, this is a mutual plug for
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Totally,
but
totally.
we are like trying to expand outside of like the Minneapolis St. Paul area. We've done a few national things. We've done some things like regionally. We're always looking for people who are building venues or want to improve their venues or talk
would
about
love-
venues or
I'd love to travel, and no matter what email I email you back from, I will always read your other venue contracts and tell you if it's crazy.
Love it. Well, thanks for coming.
yeah. Thanks.
Thanks for having me. We did it.
Yeah, about time. Thank you for watching the podcast. Hit the like and follow button to stay updated on our latest episode. If you have ideas of topics or guests you'd like us to interview, drop us a comment and we'll see you next time.